This is KF7JAU.
Okay, you got about half of that, so we'll stand by. Sound like you're going to try the other antenna. KF7JAU, W7YLA.
Okay, I'm just going to try a different antenna. Hopefully it's going to work on a piece of wood. It's worked just fine. Now everybody's riveted on this little radio, huh? WA7YLI, this is KF7JAU.
KF7JAU, W7YLA, that's much better. You're nearly full quieting this time.
Okay. Full quieting means, see how I can hear some static here? On his end, he can hear me perfectly, as if we're almost standing in the same room together. Okay?
Where is he at?
He's in West Jordan, far west. He's about 78. Oh.
W7YLI, you got me.
Roger that, WA7YLI. I'm just explaining the term of full quieting and your location. Can you give a general idea of where your location is?
Yeah, I'm at about 70th South and 28th West. Of course, you're going into the repeater, clear up on in Bountiful. So the repeater's much farther away than I am. So if you were to think about our two distances together, we're probably doing about 40 miles.
Okay, roger that. Thank you. That's a good point. The repeater is sitting up on, there's an antenna just above the gravel pit on Interstate I-15, just as the north intersection there. You look on top of the mountain there, that's where this repeater is stationed. So WA7YLI, I'm explaining to the group the kind of location where this antenna is. This is KF7JAU.
Okay, very good. Anyway, you're doing much better this time, so that was a good demonstration of the value of an antenna that had a little bit of gain. And of course, those short rubber duckies have considerable loss, but they're small and they're convenient.
Do you have any questions for him?
Yeah.
WA7YLI, what type of radio are you using?
On this particular one, I'm downstairs in the basement and I'm running a Yaesu ST8100, which is a mobile rigging, dual band. It is
Something like
2
this.
meters and the 70-centimeter band.
Okay. Any questions? Yes.
Yeah, my question is, you sort of called him out of the blue. You knew he was going to be there, no
Yes.
doubt. Is that because he's always there this time of day or this day of the week, or why is that?
Okay, just one minute here. WA7YLI, I have a question on the floor here concerning contacting of different people. And the question was, were you always online or on air at this time? And of course the answer would be no in this particular case. But there's generally somebody online or on air on different frequencies. And so in the Salt Lake Valley here and across the region, there's some repeaters where people are always listening to, and if there's an emergency, you would contact them on those repeaters. But this repeater here, this is a repeater very few people know about. It's registered, but we kind of talk amongst ourselves. So I planned this communication, this QSO, or this contact for this very reason, for this very class. So not every time does every repeater have something on, but there are some repeaters that are more operational, with more traffic on than others, and so you just have to be mindful of those on. This is KF7JAU, WA7YLI. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think you very well said it there. I think if you look at the more popular repeaters in the area, there are probably a half a dozen that there might be at any given time 20 to 50 people that are actually monitoring. This particular repeater, we're lucky if one or two are monitoring. And I would say that most evenings, I would say about 1 in 3 I might be listening to this repeater. But only if I'm downstairs in the shack
What frequency are you on?
I was asked which frequency I'm on. I am transmitting on 444.275 megahertz.
Right, and as the repeater goes, they listen on a different frequency than they transmit on. So transmitting 444.275 megahertz and listening on 449.275 megahertz.
Okay? So a repeater is, you notice it's only one-way communication. I can't talk and listen at the same time, not like a cell
You
phone.
haven't already explained that, so the repeater doesn't interfere with its own signal.
Yeah. And so what we do is on a repeater, I'm actually going up to that repeater on the mountain, which is a piece of hardware that receives information. I'm trying to describe what a repeater does and explaining the different frequencies. So I transmit on one frequency, the repeater takes that, rebroadcasts it on a different frequency, and that's what we call repeater. So it extends the range of my little handheld. I could possibly contact WA7YLI directly, and using simplex, where we talk on one frequency back and forth. One thing you need to be aware of on amateur radio, and all these radios here, it's a one-at-a-time communication. I can talk, but I can't listen, not like a cell phone. And they can talk and they can listen, but not at the same time. So while I'm transmitting right now, he can only listen. If he tries to transmit back, it's just going to be staticky. Okay? So this is KF7JAU describing the use of a repeater.
How are these repeaters?
Okay, well done.
How are these repeaters powered? Some of them battery powered?
Can be had, it's very, very rare, and that's a duplex repeater. That is, if you have a radio that can receive and transmit at the same time, much as like a repeater itself does, then you could run full duplex and hear each other both times, but that's not very customary, since most ham radios are not capable of doing that. This transceiver I have right here can listen on one band and transmit on another. So, for example, I can listen on a 2-meter band and transmit on the 450 megahertz band simultaneously. So, if there was a crossband repeater, that is one that listens on one band and transmits on another band, then we could carry on a full duplex conversation. But not very commonly done in amateur radio.
Okay, so he's getting very complicated here. You know
Not
what?
out of the range, not out of the
Walkie-talkie, one way and one way back. Okay?
By the way, I listened for you on the input frequency of the repeater. If I could not hear you, I think if I had an outside antenna, I might be able to. But this antenna, I'm in the basement right now, and the antenna is about 3 or 4 feet away from me, sitting on a steel desk. So it's not ideal for getting out. Now, right now, I'm using high power. It's about 50 watts, and I'm going to drop down to medium power, which is about 10 watts. And this time I'll step down to low power.
And I'm using 5. Yeah. So, oh. See now his power, he's in the basement. WA7YLI, we couldn't copy that last transmission. I think our class members are starting to worry we're getting out of time, so I'm going to have to end our transmission. I truly appreciate your time and thank you very much. So this is KF7JAU to WA7YLI, clear on your last transmission.